Yeah, right? No. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Family Tree TV. I'm here with the lovely Sally from Sally's Locks, and I'm here with Jordan. She's a behavioral health clinician.
Yes, TMS clinician.
All right.
Yeah,
So
technician as well.
we wanted to do this live because we wanted people to call in to either say what they're going through or should they experience. And the only reason why we're doing this is because for the last couple of weeks, me personally, I've been talking to people, friends of mine here, friends of mine on the islands, people, friends of mine that's incarcerated, and everyone's going through the same thing of just having a difficult time. So when I reached out to my beautiful co-host,
Yes, I'm here.
she suggested that we bring on Jordan to kind of help us facilitate this.
And we're here. Hi, y'all. I'm Sally. Tune in. Let's talk about mental health. It's very serious. Same way that we can physically take care of our body, we mentally have to take care of it too. And this is Jordan.
Hi, guys. I'm Jordan. I'm the TMS technician talking about mental health.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
here.
We're here. Woo,
We got
woo.
some questions and answers, and feel free to tune in the comments or call in. And we're here.
Yep. So when I said that, I've been talking to a few of my friends and they all suffering in silence. It's because, including myself, for a few weeks, I was down and out and was having a lot of problems just running through my head. And I'm not alone. I'm married, but a lot of situations going on, and you start to feel alone. And then when I started talking to other people, they started sharing their problems with me personally. And I don't want anyone that's going through this to think that they're alone. So with Jordan, with her being in the mental health industry,
Yep.
I have a lot of questions, and I'm hoping that you all will call in because once I released that we were going to do this, I received a lot of inbox and people telling me the problems that they were going through.
Yeah.
So I want this to be an interaction conversation. And
maybe we can start with some questions and go from there. And then when they call in, then we can answer or hear this side of the story too.
Yeah.
So.
And so for Jordan, you being like in this industry, I want to know like why did you decide to go into this?
That's a good question.
And speak loud for the mic.
Absolutely. And I'm in the process of sharing
Yeah.
everything too. So yeah, hi everybody. My name is Jordan. Like I said, I work in mental health. I definitely, honestly, I got into the space just kind of off whim. I mean, I do healthcare. I've always kind of been in healthcare. That's my background. So I've done everything from like, working in hospitals as like a medical assistant. I've done phlebotomy. I've done, dialysis, stuff just that's, based all around mental health. When you think hospital, you just kind of instantly think, okay, like sick. And you know what I mean? A lot of people don't kind of correlate that with being sick mentally as well. You know what I mean? So they think it's just physical. But there's a lot going on in the hospitals, as well as these mental health facilities, as well as kidney care facilities and dialysis and all that I got into. So looking for my next venture and what I can actually get into healthcare wise, I feel like I pretty much got into it because literally I was just looking for a job one day in healthcare, trying to expand, my resume, my career and stuff like that. And I just feel like I just found it kind of out the blue, honestly. I had, I was applying to a few different kind of jobs. One of them I was hoping for, which was in the hospital, which I'm actually starting. I applied for, like a month ago, and I'm starting on the weekends to do that. Probably in a few weeks or so coming up. But thank you, thank you so much. So yeah, it was between that and this just kind of called me and said, obviously wanted to interview me and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I know I applied for it, but I wasn't really knowing what I was getting myself into. You know what I mean? I know it was mental health. I know it was behavioral health, but I didn't know exactly what my role was. I was a little confused, not going to lie. But when I actually got through the interview and, I kind of did my research, Google and stuff like that, I was just like, oh, wow, okay, I'm helping the people. Like, I'm actually, okay, like this could be a space that
can relate to.
Absolutely.
We can all relate
Absolutely.
to it.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. And that's the thing. I just found the job and, you know what I mean? Kind of did my research. And I, from my first patient to, the last one of the day, I'm just kind of like, wow, everybody literally has a story and I can relate to it. So been doing it ever since.
When you say you're gonna relate to it, why?
Because literally I go through depression, myself. It's mild. My case is considered mild, but I go through it, you know what I mean? I have my days, that I can function. I do consider myself high functioning. I'm self-diagnosed, so I don't know, off record or professionally, but again, just kind of going into the space, listening to different people's stories and stuff like that. It was just more so like, okay, I could I could just relate and I could, you know what I mean? Just hearing what they was going through, it was just an eye opener, you know what I mean? So it was just, I stuck in it.
What's the age ranges at the facility you work at?
So
What's the
I
age
work
ranges?
at Northeast Health Services. These are the brochures here. So if you guys want to, tap in and come see me for some treatment services, absolutely. I'll get into that later about kind of how that works out too. But I'm sorry. What did you say? Say it again. I'm sorry.
What made you get into that field?
What? No, that was the second question.
Sorry.
You asked me something after that.
How did when you say you can relate to your clients?
I think I answered
Like
that
there's
too.
something.
I thought you asked me something else.
There's something happened, and you're like, okay, I'm going through the same thing. Or I have children. I don't know if you have any children, but
Yep,
I have children or nephews, nieces. That's all going through this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody comes in, they have their own individual stories, and I do too. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yes, that's what you was asking. Sorry. I got into this field just kind of relating and being, depressed myself. Again, I consider myself mild, high functioning, but it's there. Again, I have my days, you know what I mean? So when I go in and actually speak to my patients or whatever, they kind of tell me, okay, today's an off day. And I could just relate to that to say, you know what? Okay, I know when to back off. I know when to kind of push a little bit, so really going into what I do is, treatment for depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. So it's a whole kind of prescription plan process that they kind of got to go through. But if I could do it, I would.
So if they want to get into your program, right?
Yep.
What's the process? And then the age range for
okay,
your
that's
location.
right. The age range. So the age range, I believe, is between 18 and I want to say 75. I could be wrong. It could be no, I do believe it's 18. I don't believe we go lower than 18 as far as treatments. Now, the facility I work at, we do we do have mental health therapists and psychologists there as well. So they can go a little bit lower as far as age, range and stuff like that. But for actual treatment services, I believe it's 21 to 75.
21?
And
So,
you guys also, do you guys as far as healing and coping and growing from mental health, do you guys help them with that in the short term? Is it something in the long term?
So what I actually do, like I said, is TMS. TMS, it stands for transcranial magnetic stimulation. So
what
basically,
does that mean? Like break.
So basically,
that sounds like shock therapy. Man.
Exactly, and that's the thing, and that's why I gave you these brochures, because basically it goes into that it's not shock therapy, that it is, right. You know what I mean? It's just more in the side of just being non-invasive. It just has all these benefits to it. There's no medication involved. You know what I mean? Where shock treatment is more harsh of a invasive kind of process. So with this, basically, like I said, we perform these treatments. It's 36 treatments all in all. That's usually over the course of 6-7 weeks with me, and it's Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So
and then, do you see like a big, especially like right now, because like I said, like I only brought this up because for the last couple of weeks, I've been hearing similar stories, right?
Yeah.
So within your experience and timeline, have you been seeing something shift where there's a lot more people going into therapy?
Yes,
Is there like
definitely.
is there like something?
Definitely. Something going on in this
Yeah.
atmosphere in this
Yeah.
world.
Sure, the
Absolutely.
barriers and all that stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you
There's
see?
definitely been a shift. I like I said, I see it every day, all day in my patients that come in all day long. You know what I mean? Again, I'm with these people for 6, 7 weeks. You know what I mean? So they come in dragging their feet, depressed,
Yeah.
just feeling down, not motivated to do much. And over time, I would say like maybe 2, 3 weeks in, they may not necessarily see it, feel it, but I do. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things like, okay, I'm seeing you day one walk through the door and being one way, and then here you are 2 weeks later, again, just kind of brightening up and kind of just going through the motions of like, okay, like I could get out of bed, I could stretch my arms today, I could maybe talk a little bit more to somebody and have a conversation, stuff like that. So I see it every day, all
But
day,
do you see a
definitely. But the
pattern?
shift
Do you see a
is there.
pattern amongst female, males, black, whites, Hispanic? Is there like
Those are some of the
something?
questions I had written down
Yeah.
for you and her,
It's a
and
good
also we
question.
can all talk about too.
Do you
So,
see
Okay.
a common pattern? Like
we're
why
talking about cultural identity and mental crisis.
Mm,
cultural identity?
Yes,
Yeah.
and mental
Okay.
crisis. That's a good way to put it.
All right, cultural
Sorry.
identity. Is this
Right.
something? Do you see something?
Good one, yeah.
Why I brought you in as my co-host? But like no, like but honestly, like why I really asked Sally to come in, right? Because after speaking with multiple men of my friends, I know that this conversation is bigger than just men. Men in the hood, we have a lot of built up trauma,
Mhm.
but we can't speak for the women
Yeah.
because they have their own trauma. And I had to say, like, we have to take a responsibility as black men, black brown men,
Mm.
that we cause a lot of trauma for them. Me personally, like seeing what my dad was doing with my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I like to want to apologize
Mm,
on behalf of men
Mhm.
that caused some of this shit for y'all,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I guess deep, yeah.
It gets deep, and then it's the brothers, or in the hood, we have a whole different type of trauma of of age
Mhm.
and our background,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
I wanted you to be here because you're going to be able to speak on behalf of women that I would not want to do that because I don't know, but you would have a different outlook on it. And then you invited Jordan being in that field.
I just think with mental health in the CV, like in minority and our community, is way different. And the way we deal with it is totally different. We're just gonna break down the questions, but whoever's watching, I need you guys to at least tag 5 people to tap in. We need more viewers. Highlight the story, highlight the live.
Thank you.
We're here and we have some questions and we're gonna break it down. And most likely a lot of y'all can relate. And Mario's here to answer some questions for the men, or y'all can comment some too. Should we jump into some questions? And if y'all have some questions, tap in on the comment and we will try to answer it. All right.
So
It's so funny.
Let me see. I have a question for you, Mario. Let me put my wallet down here. I don't want it to
it's ice cold.
Yes,
So
it
it's kind of
is.
frozen. It won't stay.
It's good. It's good.
All right, let's see.
But we don't want.
I know it's just a few questions that I wrote down. So if we say as far as our community and not minority and mental health, how has like your culture shaped the way we understand mental health? Like your opinion.
In my opinion is never for speaking for anyone else other than me.
Okay.
It's just
So
my
what you see
opinion.
in your community and what
I-
you see your people
yeah.
going through.
I think for us as Cape Verdean men, our parents, they're like machines, right? they're like machines where it's like they have like this strict
Boundaries, and they set
Mhm.
things too
their
tough.
ways,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like as long as I wake up, I go to work, I get money, I pay for the food, I pay for our rent. That's their mental health,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
their mental health of like
Mhm.
I provide for everything for you, so you don't have to ever be in need.
Yeah.
And I think that if we're going as
You can show them that you're weak. They automatically
they
expect you to
they'll
be
stronger,
stronger.
right?
Mhm.
But they just the older parents, not even the new age parents, the older
Mhm.
parents, they just did not know how to deal with us as kids to understand, like, yo, I'm coming home from just getting abused at school,
Yeah.
from dealing with people in our neighborhood, being surrounded by violence, by gangs, by drugs. They just did that understanding was just not there.
Just
Yeah.
not
It's
there.
it's not there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
you should never need anything.
Yeah.
And
And
they
I
don't understand that while we was in the community, we had to kind of raise ourselves and teach ourselves how to deal with instead of being at home and our parents taught us.
yeah.
With this generation, we teaching them and they still choose
Yeah.
to
To do
From the
yeah.
streets.
play certain
Mhm.
position where we would be so lucky if we had that growing up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's where
Mhm.
like
Um,
you being a parent now, you would have more understanding like when your kids come home, or how
Yeah.
was your day? Like
Yeah.
what's going on? Like talk to me. Where our parents was like, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tired.
Like like
Right.
it was just a
don't open
different
my room
yeah.
door.
And
Don't do
and
that.
and that's what kind of caused us to be like, okay, well, we can't get the answers from our parents, not because they were bad, just because they just had a different outlook,
Mhm.
But
and
we
that's
use our mental health to try to get their attention.
yes,
To them,
Yeah.
we was problems. So
Right.
we kind of get away from the problem and go in the community where we had aunties and uncles and everybody's house. They were opening for you, you know?
Mhm. Definitely.
So
For sure.
I say in our community, it was just more like we was trying to find ourselves
Mhm.
instead of having people helping us find ourselves, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
It definitely does.
So
Absolutely.
we grew up with that mentality and we grew up to kind of, oh, well, you know what we went through and you know where we at, but who really helped us? So I feel like it catches up to us in adulthood.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's like,
Mhm.
we here, we survived it. It is what it is, and we can see each other and have stories, but
Yeah.
we never healed. We never
Yeah.
had somebody
Mhm.
to turn to. We didn't have counseling. We didn't have therapy because our parents
Right.
didn't teach us.
Mhm.
The school system
True.
didn't teach us.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
always say community raised a lot of us in a
Mhm.
lot of ways that taught us what we know now.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
in the home, it was a little bit tough. It was a little bit difficult, and
Mhm.
we saw too much as being teenagers and being a kid.
Yeah.
We saw a
Yeah.
lot of abuse that was not how it is now, like
Yeah.
discipline. So there
Mhm.
was different type of mental things that different kids
Definitely.
went through. So
Definitely.
and
I feel like
Absolutely.
till today they have secrets they held and they brought it into their adulthood because they were
Mhm.
so scared of home.
Mhm.
They were so scared to speak out.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's
but
Absolutely.
it's a big thing, So
Mhm.
but even when we sit
Absolutely.
in, like, we could talk about us being Cape Verdeans in our culture, right?
hmm
I like to always acknowledge like that all people of color right now, like we all been on the same sinking ship,
Yeah.
yeah.
right?
Definitely.
We all been on the
Absolutely.
sinking ship and
Mhm.
having a different
There's no
level
black,
Yeah.
there's no
of
Spanish.
Right.
It's
We all
we
been through
all
it.
our
Yep.
community had
Yeah.
every kind of. We even had a small amount of weight, or there's
Mhm.
people that turn into drugs. There's people we grew up with now, and we see them was like, damn, what happened to
Right.
you?
That
But
you'll never
really, you
think.
just they probably didn't have the resources, somebody to talk to, somebody to really give them a code, somebody
Yeah.
tell you like, listen, you can tune into this, you can go to
Right.
here.
Right.
It's just people it was a survival mode. When we
Mhm.
grew up, it was survival
True.
mode. So
That's very
now
true.
it's like we can make a change by putting the words out there, put
Mhm.
links if we have to,
Yep. Yep.
put resources they can reach out to.
Mhm.
Don't be scared to speak your mind. Nobody's going to judge you. And if they do, they're part of the problem. So
Yep. And that's it.
that's it,
You're right. You're right
and
about that.
when So Jordan, when you're like, for people first to get into your program,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a family member who was dealing with a lot of issues,
Mm-hmm.
and we were trying to get him into one of your programs,
Okay.
and it was like a hurdle.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
It could be
it was
for
like
sure.
a hurdle,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, okay, well, if this person is ready to go into your program right now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What's the steps? Yeah.
What's the steps, and how do you get over those hurdles? By insurance, and go and check into the hospital first,
Mm-hmm.
then wait for open bed,
Yeah.
then get
Yeah.
checked into open bed,
Mm-hmm.
then wait for open treatment
Yeah.
center.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and some of these people that's going through these mental breakdowns, they might not even have tomorrow. They might be on the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, what would be your best?
Yeah, advice. I would say I can't really speak for other companies, right? Because I just work for my company, Northeast Health
Where are they
Services.
located?
We're located in Quincy. So if you know, Cafe Pacific, we're right across the street, 100 Hancock Street, right in Quincy, North Quincy, right over the bridge.
How many beds do they have?
And
total?
that's the thing. So I was just about to get into that. A lot of people do think when you have to check into said facility, mental health kind of clinics and stuff like that, that you have to kind of go through the process of going through a hospital first, or, you know what I mean, kind of being evaluated by, a neurologist, or, even speak to a mental health therapist first. That's the beauty of where I work. Again, Northeast Health Services in Quincy, because literally you could come right to our facility and just speak to our intake team and just kind of get that going. You know what I mean?
And you can get a bed that same day, or like
there's no such thing as a bed, and that's the thing. Like, we operate out of a chair. You know what I mean?
Out of a chair.
Yeah,
Like,
it's literally a
give you the
chair.
resources or contact the place that maybe can a bed. I feel like that's if they want to get section. And that mental health comes with. That's why there's a mental health crisis hotline. Like, if you feel like you want to commit suicide, if you feel like you want to overdose on drugs, or if you have any of those problems, I'm pretty sure we can put some link and phone numbers to some resources.
For sure.
But it all starts with somewhere. At least you know where to go.
But that's what the chair mean, like, yo, like,
yeah. So again, what you would kind of consider a bed for a hospital is like a chair to my clinic. You know what I mean? So literally, these people come in.
They're not looking at you as a patient. They're really there to help you and get to know you.
Literally, yeah. We just deal with mental health only. For sure. Yep, NeuroStar. So that's the actual machine that we use, which is the chair that people come in and they'll sit again in the chair. If you could maybe zoom in or see that, you guys. But
we'll post a link.
there is, like I said, patients that come in specifically sit in this chair. If you guys could see like the paddle on the lady's hair in this picture, that's basically the TMS itself. You know what I mean? TMS, the transcranial magnetic stimulation. That's what it stands for. So, it's just like I said, they come in. This is the actual treatment in the chair. You know what I mean? So like I said, the beauty, you could come in, just talk to our intake team, and literally kind of get in this chair.
Anyone like right now, and I want to address like a couple of things.
Yeah.
Like, right, we have the holidays here, right?
Yep.
We have parents who are dealing with the grief of a lost child, like, which is like unimaginable, right? We have people who are feeling like they're alone right now, right? We have people who are suffering from like midlife crisis, right? We have kids who's like dealing with all the social media and this and all of it. So any one of them can come into your facility like right now, like going through some shit. And we can switch,
just like do a walk-in.
but they can, But I know that one time when I was going through some mental health.
You needed somewhere.
I need someone to just talk to.
Yeah, right.
But I went on an advice of a doctor.
Okay.
I went to Beth Israel, and there was a cage facility inside the Beth Israel hospital, like cage, like the cage at the store.
Yeah, like a gate, like a.
No, they brought me.
Oh.
Me, I asked because I was like, I was like, I needed someone to talk to, and I was just reaching out, like, I'm going through a lot of stuff. I just need someone to talk to. So this doctor said, go to Beth Israel.
Okay.
They don't send you to the
Right.
same-
And I
send
and
you.
even like no, this seriously,
Let's-
like,
let's
yeah.
but this
go.
was like because that doctor didn't know that they were gonna do that. But once you go into a facility, and this is like a reason why like a lot of us people of color,
Mhm.
when you say go talk to someone, we don't
Yeah.
we don't even trust it,
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Right.
So when they brought me in and they was like, yeah, just follow us.
Mhm.
And then I'm walking in this area and I saw these grates, like these rooms, but with the
wow.
grates.
Oh.
And it's like, damn, like it looks like once I go in that room, they shut it. I'm locked in there.
But can I ask you, why
So-
did they send you back there?
Did
Because
you
what
say
did
This
you
is what the
say?
doctor did.
Did you
This,
say that you was gonna hurt yourself?
Yeah,
Did you say
because
you're gonna
right.
hurt somebody else.
Because-
Right.
no,
Time is what the answer.
yes, yes. And this is like
This is
why
live,
this
y'all.
conversation,
This is
right?
live.
Because it's like I think
'Cause-
like it's like when they was asking, they do the intake, and they was like,
Okay.
"Have you ever thought about killing anyone?" Yeah.
No, see?
No. But, all right, but hold on.
You
This
told him
was
that?
a question, but it was like the way that I'm looking at it, and I was very young.
Yeah.
The way I'm looking at it is like, which one of us have never thought about like, yeah, I hate you and I fucking kill you.
Okay.
But I never,
hospital
but it was
circumstances-
never. Do you feel like killing someone right now? It was like, have you ever? And
They
I'm like,
should've
come on,
got you
come on,
a
come on.
counselor and a
Tell me you
therapist.
ain't never thought
I
about like
mean-
that. You got so mad. Come on, tell me like
No,
not
I've
not
had the feeling,
physically,
but-
So if
Yeah.
you think
But
about
the
it now,
feeling.
you
But I
said
don't
you went through
understand
that
that.
back in the day,
Yes.
right?
but this,
So what you think that minority, we're talking about our community, the
Yeah.
schools and the kids going through mental health. What do you think that we can do different now to help them not go through what you went through? You think we need
Mhm.
more a nonprofit organization
No.
behind things?
no,
Or
no.
do we send them straight to the hospital
No,
and they're gonna
no,
look at them
no.
like they're crazy?
no, I don't think that.
So
know what
what
I'm
do you think we can do to,
But
help
but
these
change
young
that,
that's a
yeah.
question for her.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well,
like
she has a program,
I know.
Mhm.
but it's to improve the depression symptoms. These
Right.
program is symptom reliefs, right?
Yes,
They're not looking at it like we're doctors. We're here to help you with your mental health, right?
yes,
Right.
But then we're talking
Yeah.
about resources as
Yeah.
far as hospitals gonna automatically put them in that psych ward. This is what I call it, or lock them up and say, "Well, we're gonna wait when the doctors get to you." That mentally is gonna mess them up even more. Or they believe in straight medication. Medication is mentally gonna mess
Yeah.
up our teens and
But-
our youth, and this is why they're gonna grow up to be at a different position.
But
what
this
do
is
you
what,
think
like-
that we need? That do you think we need like a community center where we can get them
No,
engaged
no.
into? Do you think we need one-on-one with them? What
No.
can we do to change what we've been through?
The cameraman.
Yeah.
The cameraman is talking behind the camera. Go ahead.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
Man, you can
Like,
come.
it's more people like us where like you saying, yeah, I thought about killing somebody because
We're
of
trying to
what-
change
of the
that.
trauma that
Breaking
we
generational
dealt with,
curses.
you know what I mean? Of being from the being, yeah, we thought of that, but it's different
With this,
by me saying that and you understanding what I'm saying than
Mhm.
to think, oh, this thing is
So
crazy.
you need
like, what
Yeah.
can we do
Yeah.
different?
So this like that is like because you're in that field, right? And you see these people day in day out,
Mhm.
different
You don't
age
need to be
ranges.
in that field, though,
No,
Mario.
no.
You
Hold
look
on.
at it like
Spitter.
a community leader.
No,
What would you do
No,
different?
But
Let's worry about you.
Yeah.
Let's don't worry about
No.
Northeast
and
Health
Southern.
Service.
But this is what I like.
What would Mario do to help the youth? If he
First
see
of
them
all, I'm
come
not
up
going
to
to
you?
tell them to go into an area where I don't know what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, okay. All right. Let's say I literally had someone come talk to me last Friday in the mental health
Mike, we see you, Mike Smith. Shout out
They-
to Mike Smith.
last Friday to tell me to bring kids into their facility, right?
Mhm.
For mental health.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I had a few questions like, where's it at? What do
Okay,
y'all
right,
do?
right.
What's the treatment plan?
Yeah.
What is your relationship like? How's it going to be with dealing with the parents?
But you
This
have some-
person, wait, like, hold on, like this person cannot answer any of my questions. But I'm like, yo, listen, me being a responsible adult and me dealing with the kids in the hood, I am not going to send kids into your facility
just to
without
make
you
money.
answering my questions
Just to
just
build
because
insurance.
to build insurance.
That's
And I'm
all.
like, so we couldn't have an understanding. And I'm like, yo, listen, man, like, but they're like, yo, there's a referral fee. I don't care about your referral
That too.
fee.
Yeah.
It's
You know
more
what I'm
like-
saying? Because it's like I'm gonna have to deal with kids who are already traumatized. Then I'm gonna have to deal with, like, God forbid, if I send your kid into this situation and something worse happens to them. Now that's stuck in my conscience.
Yeah.
Then I got to deal with their parents. It's gonna be like, nigga, you send my kids there. We
Yeah,
trusted you.
Right.
And this facility was banking on my trust with the community.
Mhm.
And I don't think that any of us should be vouching for any
Right.
facility that we don't know what the treatment is going to be for our kids.
Right.
Hence why you're here to be like, if an adult or a child is going through something and they're thinking about ending their life and they go to your facility, what would that be like?
That would automatically common sense call 911 because that's not your child. This is a facility. This is mental health. We can help you. But if you're gonna come up in here, we're not talking about one kid. We're talking about the community. We're talking about them seeing different youths because mental health is serious. There's some that is serious. There's some that can walk out of their house and kill somebody. There's some that they just talking the talk. So they need that help. So there's different facility and different program and different medication for that.
Yeah.
But we have to look at the adults too that suffer mental health, right? Do you talk to your doctor about it? Do you talk to a counselor, a therapy, or a friend? Is a friend going to be judgmental and be like, oh, for example, Mario's going crazy. I heard about, but this is the community we live in.
Yeah.
People cannot go and say, well, I'm stressed out, or they're automatically going to be like, oh, she looking crazy. She probably going through something, instead of coming and just be an ear to listen to, or somebody to be like, because everybody goes through it.
But okay, this is a
Yeah.
question right here. Let
Go
me rephrase it, right? Like, it's obvious that we deal with stuff differently.
Then-
absolutely.
then-
That's what I'm trying to
Than what these hospitals expect. Like you said, you went in there and you said something that they don't like.
Right.
They lock him up in the choke.
Right. And they
The
want to
cage.
lock you up and
They put him in the
The
choke.
and I want to give Mario
Yeah,
up
locked it.
because I see him do this on a daily, right? Is where we need more people like Mario, because once these people come and tap in and say I'm dealing with these things, we help them differently than what these
Then what
hospitals.
these hospitals, they just want to
Definitely.
build. They really don't care.
Exactly.
Right.
So
They'll lock
that's-
you in there and go home to their family, and you
that-
sitting there like,
That's what I want to focus
Mhm.
on. Is like
Mhm.
we deal with our community better than what these systems are.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe I
Absolutely.
could talk on that aspect of, you know,
What can
the
we
way
do?
that we deal with them. You know what I mean? And understand where they're coming from, instead of these hospitals that as soon as we say these things out loud, that if we really dealing with mental health and understand where these people are coming from, yeah, I've thought about killing somebody.
Yeah,
before,
right.
you know what I mean?
But the thing
If
is
we
with
really
the
being
hospitals, you know
honest,
why?
if
The
we're really
hospitals,
being honest, like Mario was saying,
Yeah,
I've
right.
thought, but we go into these places where we control those. Now we
Yo.
want to
they'll
give the,
put you on that psych
Yeah.
ward, and once they evaluate you and they bill your insurance, they're putting you
Yeah.
back on the street. And some of them don't need to be in the street. They just bill them. They're really not listening to them. They're
But
not listening to them. They just interviewing them, and they going about that whatever questionnaire they have. Okay, well, we called a family member. They said that you was just drunk and you all right. They said that you just went through an episode. You all right, and that person will leave that psych ward and really commit something.
Mhm.
And then there's
Exactly.
also people that's just dealing with stress, depression. Those are stuff we can all get out of, you know?
Yeah, definitely,
But-
for
They
sure.
wanna
Definitely.
deal
What
with-
the hood
the right
is
resources.
the hood is turning to when they're going through that is sleep, alcohol, okay,
which is a whole
bench
different thing.
drinking, weed in the streets and that.
And
So they
pills.
don't have nobody to talk to. What they're gonna do is
Yep.
cope. It's a cope
Mhm.
mechanism. Whatever they can get close to, they're gonna turn to that. But
Yeah,
trauma
because-
comes with family, friends. Don't fake yourself. Be yourself, and make sure they're there. You'll know who's there for you and who's not there. You know. But there's non-profit organization that they can reach out to. MBK, they can reach out.
No,
to
no, 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 hold on.
We can
Hold on,
give
no,
them
no,
resources.
no, no, no,
We
no,
can give them
no, no,
numbers.
no, 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 no.
Tap
like I think that this is some of the problem, right?
Not
Like,
that
no,
we're
no,
gonna
no,
help.
no, no, no,
I
no,
will
no,
give
no.
you
If you
resources.
haven't, if you haven't, like this is some of the problems that we have as
Give
nonprofits.
them my
right?
number. Give
All
them
right.
my number.
I'll give you Sally's number. We'll put it in there. But what I'm saying, like some of the stuff with nonprofits is that we try to jump into everything that you have no business in dealing with, right? We do not deal with mental health, right? We don't deal with that. If someone you're having a mental health crisis, like I've been dealing with multiple friends for the last month, like on a suicide
You can have
level.
the
Like,
numbers and
yeah,
names.
but that's what I'm saying. But MBK, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to stay in law and going to court, you're trying to resolve a problem with dudes you're feuding with, yes, call us. You're having a mental health issue is why you're here. Because like this is your lane.
That's my field.
This
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
field.
Mhm.
This is where you know, like, where do you go?
The resources.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Absolutely.
also,
yeah,
this
yeah.
live is not just to talk about what what she
Definitely.
do. It's just to talk about mental health.
It's mental
in
health.
general.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
that's like it's not our lane like for
Jordan's
MBK.
like, this wasn't my line. That was a special guest. Like,
Yeah.
don't put it
Yeah.
on.
No, it's okay.
but this is like what
No,
you
but
have.
but you know what? I could say this.
Yeah.
Like I can be so quick to say, oh yeah, call up Northeast Health Services and talk to our intake team and get in today. Like I could sound like a commercial all day long, but yes, no, I do
not
feel
that
like our community,
Yes.
like cameraman was saying, like our community specifically does need more of us talking about it, you know what I mean, and kind of being open and candid with it, because it starts with us, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like when it starts with us, it ends with us as well. In the middle, in between all that, we need to be more outspoken. We need to talk about it more. We need to be more comfortable talking about it more, because we are all going through it. A lot of
Yes.
us are just not talking about it, you know what I mean? So again, I could
So
say
did
all
you
day long,
go?
Northeast,
Did you go through that where you were
yeah,
dealing?
for sure.
She said hers
Yes,
was Maya.
absolutely. Yes. Yep. My high functioning, and I'm still going through it. You know
And
what
then,
I mean?
all
So
right, and so that leads me to the question: when you're going through it, right? And Stephanie says something, Lopes. I'm gonna read it, but I want to go like so. When you're dealing with your personal issue, and then you're gonna go into your job where you're dealing with all these people, right? So how are you gonna remain sane, high functioning?
Yeah.
Thank you, sister,
Yep.
for that professional word. How are you gonna remain high functioning and then go deal with
Not
a
the
bunch
professional
of,
word.
but you're gonna go deal with a bunch of people that are having so much issues. And I'm saying
Yeah.
that to you because in the nonprofit world, right, there's a lot of people that feels like how you do, but they don't even
Yeah.
have the coping mechanism.
Yeah.
So how would you deal with it, right? How do you deal with it on a daily? And then what would you say to those people that's dealing in the nonprofit world or in human services? Like, how do you deal with it?
So on a daily, I'm again just currently going through it, have been going through it. It started, you know what I mean, with like just at an early age, really. So like getting into the field and being around it more. And like I said, I deal with these patients on a daily basis. Right now I'm rotating about 10 patients, but getting into it and
what age?
I want to say my youngest right now is probably 20. Yes, 20. And then I feel like my oldest right now is probably in their 60s or something like that.
Another thing, right? Dealing with the patient that you deal with, what's the pros and cons? Like, I'm pretty sure you have some. Do they have some days, or they are calm? Do you see some that you're like, oh wait?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, it usually is a change between sessions or day 10 to 20. You know what I mean?
What does that mean, day 10 to 20?
These people
is there
come
like
in
levels.
Yep. So they come in for 36 treatments, like I was saying earlier, all in all, basically 36 treatments over the course of 6-7 weeks or so. So when day 1 they come in depressed, you know what I mean? From day 1 to like day 10, session 10. Yeah, literally, you know what I mean? And that happens, like I said, they don't see it or feel it, but I do, you know what I mean? Just because I could kind of like outside looking in kind of thing, like, oh, okay, yeah, no, they're going through it, or okay, they're getting better, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a change, and they pretty much, I feel like I cope with it on a day-to-day just by listening to their stories. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, what's the majority?
So it's like when they come in,
majority of the people you've been dealing with? Like, what's the majority
Like,
of their
is it more
issues?
black from you? Okay, but do you
Oh,
see
culturally?
more? Yeah, culturally, right?
I'll be honest, it's probably more Caucasian.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
It's probably more white in what
So
I
what's
do.
the
But that's the goal, to get more,
but
you
what's-
know,
what's-
colored people in.
what's the majority of their problem that they're going through though?
I want to say high,
Mental health.
yeah,
Huh?
mental
But
health,
what?
but
But like there's
depression.
something.
Depression.
But what? But what?
Depression.
I know depression, but what's
That is-
causing the depression? Because like
Like,
I
is it
said,
like losing work? Is
It's
it
different
family?
things.
Yeah.
It's really
People
honestly
just
different
walk
things.
in, they
And
go.
that's the difference between like mild, you know, intermediate and severe. You know what I mean? A mild case could be somebody just kind of going to school and dealing with a daily day-to-day school, you know,
Stress.
just kind of stress of being, you know what I
Mm.
mean, classes and everything else going on.
Read the comments and stuff.
all right, Des,
It's a lot of comments.
Well,
De-
let's start with Stephanie.
Oh, yeah,
Stephanie
yeah.
had yep, right
So Stephanie,
here. Can I get my teacup?
Stephanie, the Lobes.
Thank you, babe.
Hey, Steph, favorite sister-in-law. Wait, one of my favorite sister-in-law. Hold on. She says, I encourage
Oh.
therapy. Someone who doesn't know you but has the expertise to help navigate the thoughts. Finding a therapist is hard, but it's an outlet. Sometimes it's all about having a person to pour into without judgment,
Exactly. That's
but
exactly
who
what
will
I said.
also call you out on your bullshit. I added on the bullshit. I added that. She didn't say that. I added that.
Well, I
Alright.
feel like in our community, once you call them out on their bullshit, they don't trust you. They feel like you're being more judgmental than being more. I feel like you got to ease them in, because people that go through mental health is not easy at saying, damn, bro, what you going through? You look crazy. Right there, they're like, you're being more judgmental than kind of pulling me aside and like, you need somebody to talk to. So I feel like mental health, you have to know the level of speaking to people.
But that's what you
You
said.
have to-
That's what she's kind of saying.
I
But-
understand. I
But
feel
you
what
say
she's
you
saying.
say the
But
the
call
level.
them on their bullshit. Like, you trying to help them, but they're not trying to help
But
themselves.
you see how you say you have to know their level,
Accountability.
Yes,
right? So
accountability.
this is why
They
I
have to
said
take
MBK.
accountability.
We're not doctors to be calling you on your level of thing. Like
Yeah.
I know, like if I get a call from one of my friends and he's like, "Yo, I'm about to kill myself." So first of all, right? We had a good friend of mine, my childhood friend, and Senator Liz Miranda's brother Ricardo, who just killed himself a few months ago, right? Then we just had last week Sonny, who is
People that we all grew up with.
who just hung himself. Then the other day there was the little girl in Brockton, allegedly from mental health, who is no longer with us, right? I don't know the situation. I don't want to, think, but it's like
It's a lot going on.
it's a lot, right?
So do you
But
think
I
people are
don't want to
judging?
be the one to call your level if I'm not cope with knowing the level, unless you just say, yo, I'm about to kill myself. And I'm like, yo, hold on, man, let me just get there.
But that's
You know?
what we were saying. Instead of like
But
calling them on their bullshit, you
I know.
have to kind of take it easy with them.
yes, so this is
So
like
this-
we were saying, like when people are calling you just to talk to you, like stop making it about yourself and listen to what the person is saying. Just hear them out. Like everything don't have to be about you. Like the main reason why me personally, I don't call no one with any of my problems is because anytime I'm talking to someone,
They're
They-
just listening.
they no, not even
It's
listening.
going in one ear, out the other.
Out the other.
They just being judgmental.
And but they just phrase it back to them.
Mhm.
Because a lot of us are not focused on, like, listen to your friend who's calling you because they're going through something. Just listen. Like,
Nah,
don't.
it's a competition. When you the one asking for help, all of a sudden they need the help.
Yes. So
Well, I'm going through it too.
Yes.
Well, we could have been here for together. Right now, I'm coming
Yeah.
up to you for a reason.
So-
and then they kind of
so this is like one.
reverse psychology.
So this is one of my things. Like, yo, listen. Like,
You should
listen.
have been calling me. What's going on?
Right.
But it's like for us to learn to just shut the fuck up
And listen.
and listen.
Mhm.
And then
no
if you
judgment.
know, and no
Yep,
judgment, just shut the fuck up. Because sometimes it's like, why, like, if I'm going through something. I don't even want to call no one
Yeah.
because it's like, yo, we
That's
don't,
where
we
gotta change that.
but
Yeah,
yes,
that-
and this
yeah.
why we're having this conversation.
We gotta
It's
change
just
that.
like, yo, just shut the fuck up. Listen
Some
to
of the
that
comments
person.
we see.
Like, listen to the person,
Mhm.
and then if you know a place like where
Yeah.
you work at,
Right.
if you know somewhere that is safe for them to go to,
And
Mhm.
just refer
and just
them.
refer them.
Right,
But
right,
that's why
right.
when I said with MBK, I was just saying it because you know, MBK is one that's live. Not saying that MBK has that resources, but if they could DM me, I can probably reach out to Jordan and be like,
Yeah,
girl, this
definitely.
person is wish, you know,
Yeah.
what
What do you
number
suggest?
can-
Yeah.
Yeah, where to go?
And-
can they
Mhm.
reach out?
Um,
Not that we gonna
Next comment.
provide the
Uh,
service.
So Desiree, I know we spoke yesterday, right? And because of lack of funding, sister, we was not able to connect the phone calls, right? But she said, being a therapist, it's easy for us to have counter transference where we can be impacted by our clients' challenges.
That means
Yeah.
she can relate. So she already know how hard it is just being in that field too.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
she's
It's
all
not as
mental
easy
health.
said and done. You know.
and she's at if and Des, correct me if I'm wrong, but you work at Upham's.
You have to know how to
Okay.
guide MBK, learn the steps to support and guide someone, and let's educate people on knowing signs and thank you.
Say that louder
Thank
because
you,
you read
Desiree.
it.
Desiree
No,
Clark
say,
here.
read that louder because I don't think
Basically,
they.
it's not
Yeah.
just because I be like, oh no, MBK ain't got nothing to do with mental health. Already, you're very well known in the community. There's ways that you can kind of point them in the right direction. So if they come up to you, it's just because you guys are nonprofit. Y'all so known. A lot of y'all events, y'all do have resources tables.
Not for mental health.
Not for mental health, but we can have that.
That could be an add-on.
Mm.
Yeah,
We can
for
have
For
sure.
where? For Northeast
So
Health
it
Services?
doesn't matter. No, there's so
Anywhere,
many.
yeah, definitely. There's
like
different outlets. Like I
thousands
said,
of
I
them
could
out
sit
there,
here and
but some
preach
people,
North Health.
especially the Cape Verdean
I
community,
could preach
don't
it
know
all
about
day
that.
long, but you
So,
know, I don't want
We
to.
haven't met them yet,
I don't want to
Mario.
do that. No, I was just gonna say I could preach my company all day long, but honestly, like,
There's
well,
a
like we
lot.
all kind of saying, it starts
There's
with
a lot.
us.
So look,
If we just kind of
508-318-8931.
That's Northeast.
That's
Yeah.
one of the numbers.
but
So
Des-
easy. Get
That's a
the
start.
appointment referral. That's a start.
so one thing like Desiree, she says, I'm a licensed therapist, have my own company, and work at a department for mental health. So, like,
That's
just
right.
that conversation alone and hearing that,
That's a
That,
resource.
so you
That's
can
a
refer
That's a
them
resource.
to
resource.
Desiree. That's
And
a
then-
Absolutely.
resource.
There you go.
the
It's so
other,
easy.
and Kayla, KK,
Oh, hey, Kay.
she said,
That's
listen,
one of my clients.
I work in a psychiatric unit, and some of the individuals there are there because they need help and have nowhere else to. Hold on, Kayla. Like, I gotta, I'm on an
Okay.
iPhone. I'm not tech savvy, sister. Hold on.
See if any of
She
them
said,
want to join the live.
when they ask,
Hey, you want to join the live?
no, yeah, but the thing is, like, we can't get the feed.
No, they can. Once you're on
All
Facebook
right,
Live,
keep
they
reading,
can.
keep reading.
She says
Just give Mario
some
his tea.
actually need to be there for their safety and the safety of others. When they ask questions like, "Do you have homicidal thoughts?" It's a reason. It's for a reason. This is likely why they kept Mario there. No, I didn't
Yes,
have. No,
yes,
no,
yes,
Kayla.
Kay. You're
No,
right.
no,
You're right.
no.
You
I
are
didn't.
right.
At that point,
Right.
no.
She's right.
Hold on. She said the question is how you phrase it. They
No,
said
to us,
no.
but not to them. They
Okay,
don't
but
care.
that's what I'm saying. Still,
You
like,
have to say one wrong
okay,
answer.
but she said,
Adios.
she
Go
said,
pee.
do you have homicidal thoughts? That's not what they asked me.
If you have.
They said, have you ever thought
Had
about killing
suicidal
someone?
thoughts.
Well, if you
Yeah,
in
right.
there-
But
All
I
right.
mean,
I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest brother,
Oh my
but I'm not the
God.
dumbest. They didn't
Right.
say
Once you're in there, you answer yes.
no.
Oh my
They said,
goodness.
have you ever?
No.
Keyword.
The answer,
No,
no,
see?
I need to speak to somebody.
But I'm here,
Yeah.
like, this is the thing with my wife. She says, yo, you're brutally honest.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's,
And
that's
it's like,
not wrong
they
with
said,
that.
have you ever? Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there
Like,
you
I'm
go.
from the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
from-
that's our community. We
Yeah.
be honest because we respect the system to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
but the- but-
the
Claudio,
system don't care about the community.
like
The
Claudio,
system.
what he said about when he first came here. I mean, casi esse man quer assim.
Who said that?
Claudio,
Bye. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
What Louis
So
said?
no, but
Yo,
Louis,
Phil, what's up?
yo, bro, you speaking understanding. You say you going through mental health. Speaking on that personal, we can understand. Yeah, bro. Like, I think, that me
That's
feel,
you.
feel like, and for me to touch on it before, like my thought, uh, my thought process escapes me is that me, Phil, and a bunch of us that grew up in the neighborhood, we're going through this thing where, okay, I'm not gonna say Phil, I'm gonna say with me and how I've been feeling is that we watch, and all of us in Boston have watched our neighborhood just like get rid of us, make it so unaffordable for us to live, right?
Yep.
But when we was going, when we were living there and it was so poor and so desolate, right? We were going through the trauma,
Right,
but
Desiree. Desiree say answers usually no.
no, yes, thank you, Des. Now that I know and that I didn't get put in the cage, I know the answer. Okay.
Right.
And why we're trying to share this information, if you're gonna go and speak and get counseling, there's certain things that you don't
Yeah.
want to answer. But if you don't answer it,
Yeah. Right,
but then how
right.
you expecting to get help without being like
Because they just doing an intake. Intake is like, oh, we're gonna keep
What?
him in, or we're gonna get him the help that he needs. Meaning, we're gonna refer him to therapy and counseling. Because once they keep you in there, they're looking at you like you're in a different. So now it's more like that mental insanity instead of mental issues or mental. Oh, maybe he just needs therapy. Maybe he just needs counseling. Maybe he's just going through something. But you going up in there and you telling them, yeah, think about killing somebody. They're not letting you out.
No.
Keeping you
Like,
in.
listen,
I will keep
listen,
you in.
hold on,
Thank you,
hold
the
on,
community.
hold on, hold on,
We
hold
need
on,
to reevaluate
hold on,
you.
hold on, hold on. Thank you, brother. See, my cameraman is like the best, right? No,
I really
what
gotta
I'm,
use the bathroom.
Oh,
I'll be
yes.
back. I'm
all
sorry.
right, we're gonna take a commercial break.
Sorry, hi, sorry.
No, look, what I'm saying is like for us to be brutal about going to get help, right? They ask you certain questions, but we don't know because one, we don't have anyone to guide us through these questions like we're saying to them, like, oh, listen, this is an answer you might not want to answer like this. Because the way that Desiree phrased it,
Yeah.
do you have
Yeah.
homicidal thoughts?
Yeah.
Or the way that other person asked me was, have you ever?
Yeah. Right.
To me, that's just like, bro, like we're living in the hood. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. By the time I was 13, I already saw like 3 people get killed.
Yeah.
You have friends that get killed. You have family members that get killed. Do you hate someone so much that you like, damn, like that person that killed my friend, like I want them dead? Like that's a thought.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to actually go and kill that person.
Right, of course. Right.
You know?
Right. I get it.
The way
No,
it's,
so the person that did that or took that intake, were they of color or were they?
no,
And that's the
no,
thing, you know what I mean? So
no,
I think that's kind of what we're talking
no.
about here, basically, when it comes to our people
Yes.
and being more outspoken and actually getting the proper resources. Because yes, you go into these kind of, facilities. I don't know, who's white on here, who's not, but normally when you're not person of color, and you're going into these kind of facilities, you know what I mean? Whether it's a psychiatric ward or, mental health, of other sorts kind of facilities. Yes, that's who you're speaking to, the Caucasian crowd. And of course, they're going to take it and run with it.
Yes.
But if we had more people like us in the building, of course, we could speak open, speak candidly now, talk about, yes, I have experienced that thought in the past, but you know what? No, that's not my current situation. But we would understand that, not necessarily somebody of not color,
Hence,
so
again,
that's why we need more.
Why
Us.
we invited you because
Thank
it was like, okay, you're dealing with these people, and you're dealing with this base on a lot,
Excuse me.
right?
Mhm.
Dealing with these
Yep.
people on a
Every
regular
day.
basis, and I'm pretty sure that if we can go and sit down or get people that's going through a lot, like it's just like right now, I don't know what it is. What it is like it's something in the air is just like why all of us are going through this, right? But if we have the resources where where they can go to speak to someone that look like us, because this like it's affecting it's affecting us,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But if they can go in there and have a conversation with you
Right.
at your facility with you, you're gonna understand more of their background. You're gonna understand more of like where they're coming from. You're gonna take into the consideration their loss,
Mm-hmm.
their pain.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take it and be like, I know what you mean,
Right. Yeah. I
right?
understand. I can relate.
You can relate
Every day. Mm-hmm.
every day,
Yeah.
and especially like if you're going through it
Mm-hmm.
and you're having a hard time, like, and I'm not saying you personally, but you're having a hard time just waking up and getting to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting out of bed
Yeah.
and going in there and then like, damn, I gotta deal with like 10 people.
Right.
That's different level to
That's
it.
different, you
Right.
know. And
Nobody wanted to tune in. Look at
no,
Milton.
Nana said, and just think like she said, reasons why I got a black therapist. White people switch words fast.
Yep.
They have to listen. They
Yeah.
have to listen.
They have to
shouldn't
be
even
professional.
Some of them is just a job. It's just a profession, and some really cares.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good question.
There's a good question.
What?
Why do you think people ignore warning signs even when danger is obvious?
Exactly. I feel like
That was like
the
a
psych, like, well, with the professional,
Loaded
the
question.
professional therapists in the hospital and the psych ward and others, you know why? I feel like it's a job for them. So the reason why they ignore warning signs when you're right there with them is because they want to look at your history. They want to look at your past. They want to interview your family. But the signs is right there in front of you. You know, it's the same thing with the court of law, the system. It's the same thing. Like, you know, this person don't need to be out there, but then y'all give them parole after a few years and they end up committing mass shooting and commit. Y'all know they didn't get the help they needed in jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know that,
Mhm.
but it's the same. It's a business for them. This
Yeah.
is why they need people that really cares and people that's really gonna be there for them. Because the doctor's the same thing. This dude just came up in here acting up, telling y'all all this crazy stuff. Y'all put him in the mental ward because they need to evaluate them. And 2 days later, we're seeing him in the street.
Right.
So certain people is like certain black therapists or white therapists is like you're really here for the job or it's just a 9 to 5 for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
especially if you never had no record, they don't care. They're
Yeah,
gonna
I
let you
think
go and
it's,
put you on that medication and bill your insurance,
for
and
sure.
then that medication is more crazy.
Yeah,
Phil-
definitely.
Phil
for sure,
said-
for sure.
worry about police with mental health.
Exactly.
No,
I know.
he's the one at 801.
Huh?
He's the one at 801.
801 from
Phil.
I don't have the time. Is it not every mental health?
Yeah.
No. So Phil said not every mental health is obvious. Worry about those in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Some are obvious. Some are working in the same facility as the clients.
Exactly.
And I think like
There you go, Phil.
to touch
Clock it.
to touch on the silence,
Yeah.
is the ones that we're dealing with. And a lot of us are dealing with the silence comes from we're dealing with people that's coming out of prison after so many years, right? For injustice reasons. Then you have like and I said like I was gonna speak for me, but also people that I've been talking to, is those of us suffering in silence because we feel like we can't talk to no one without them making it about themselves. But we're watching like an entire community just
I was
this
about to touch
oh,
base
just
on
let me like finish my thought. we're watching a whole community that literally just got wiped out,
Yeah.
right? Where we're like none of us like really live in the B no more. Like speaking from my perspective. So then you come from somewhere where when you come out of your home, you're like surrounded by friends, family,
Mhm.
and we were doing this thing where like we were suffering because we lost so many friends and family through violence.
Mhm.
But when we come out, we're surrounded by friends, we're smoking, we're drinking, we're partying,
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
addressing the problem, and then we're coming from a culture of parents that don't really deal with that, right?
Right.
So we're kind of coping with just being amongst each other.
Mhm.
Now as
for the
adults,
moment.
for the moment,
Teaching
now
them.
as adults, we're like, okay, either married or my community now has turned me to believe that I can't trust you.
Right.
I can't. We're enemies. We're envious of each other, and now I have to take my immediate nucleus family child and move away from you, just so I don't be around you that look like me.
But that's
right?
our ego.
Danger, because it's like I'm afraid now if I keep my child here, my child's gonna die, because I've been seeing it from my older peers. I'm seeing it from my peers. I'm seeing it from these little niggas. I know if I keep my child here, he's gonna be the next culture that's gonna die. So we take our child, we move, but now we're in an atmosphere and a community where we're like, no one here looks like us. When I come outside,
and they're judging you right there and then. So how would you explain that to your children just because you moved there?
And your child is going to be in a school where no one looks like
but
them.
Your child is scared in a different way.
In a different way.
That.
But what I'm saying, like,
that just because you move out the hood don't mean your child is safe.
I
now
know.
They're moving and getting out their house, and you never know what can happen because you got Karen as a neighbor.
Yes.
Because you
but what I'm saying is, like, with the parents, like, okay, you're a parent that understand that with your child, right? We're saying, like, with a lot of us, when we move out of our neighborhood where we're comfortable and we go somewhere else, we're like, we're looking at it like, I'm speaking like from just my perspective and people that I've been talking to. We're like, yeah, we're in a safe neighborhood now where I ain't got to worry about getting killed, and I ain't got to worry about my child getting killed. But now I'm feeling alone. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm feeling like I'm not with my own people. Like, I'm not in a family oriented environment. I'm not in a friendly, environment anymore. And what I'm saying, like, with us, where, like, why I wanted to do this, because I talked to so many of my friends and family who's all dealing with that, and we all feel alone. Like, yeah, we got what we want. We got our homes. You might have your job, good, good business, but your child, but like you mentally, you're still dealing with the trauma of, like, how many people you lost in your life. You're dealing with the loss of being in a community. Like, I don't think, like, and now you're trying to figure out at my age, it's like, damn, man, like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to do now? But the parents that had the, go ahead.
But okay, you're saying that, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it all starts at home. What we've been through, we cannot show our kids that fear.
No.
I feel like
we're not talking about
like,
fear.
well, where we grew up at.
No. We're not talking about fear. No. We're not
We're
talking about fear. We're not talking about fear. I'm talking about, like,
fear comes
no,
with
no,
mental health.
no.
And
I'm not talking
trauma.
about fear. I'm not talking about fear. I'm not talking about fear. I'm talking about trauma. I'm talking about, like, the conversations I've been having with my peers of, like, them now, like, feeling like they're isolated. They feel alone. I'm talking about that state of mind right there. You know what I'm saying?
Children.
No, not because of children. Okay. Because now they've provided their child with a different environment because they couldn't be around our own. Yeah. I'm talking about directly to my peers right now, where, like,
I think, honestly, for them providing their child different living situation, different neighborhood, and going from suburbs to the hood, where they call it, that's totally different than, first of all, the system don't let you discipline your child nowadays. Second of all, it starts at home. It starts with in-home therapy. It starts with you teaching your kids what you've been through and what's going on. Because just living in a neighborhood and telling them, like, oh, well, when we grew up here, this is how it was. It's what they seen, and whatever they seen, you get them the help they need. But just getting out the neighborhood is not changing nothing. It starts at home. You get them the right help, in-home therapy.
But we're talking about kids again.
Yes, but you're saying, like, oh,
we're talking
how parents are scared to live in the neighborhood because how they grew up.
No,
right?
No. I'm talking about our peers as parents right now. I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about, like,
they're scared of our neighborhood.
No. They're so scared of being around our people. You know what I'm saying? That they moved. But now, because you don't have a community, you don't have that bond anymore, you're feeling isolated. Most of them are like single parents. Like, you're feeling alone. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling like you're just working around the clock, just to get up, go do this job, come back home, but there's like nothing in between. You know, when we're growing up in a community that we had, it's like you can wake up, you walk out your door, and you're just surrounded by like people that look like you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like in a sense of like you feel that sense of community. And I'm saying like a lot of us now don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where like that's where I'm saying like directly why I brought this mental health is because of what all of these conversations I was having with people. It was because of this. It's like they just like, damn, like yo, we're also hitting mid-age crisis, and like, are we even talking about that? Like, you know,
to
like
me, it's like what's help for now at this stage in their life. What is because stress is different than mental health. Okay, your personal bills and personal life and your, let's say, relationship and all these drama and stuff that's going on, that's different from mental health. If we're talking mental health and your kid, you notice that your kid need help, I'm pretty sure they have the resources. As far as adults, I'm pretty sure they do. But it's more, we can't do so much if you're an adult, right? We could be here as a support system, but are we talking about, are you still triggering from what happened to you when you was a child? Are you going to take that and carry that into an adulthood?
adult.
So that's a burden you have on you. This is where you can get a team, you can get support, the support group that we can create. I can create. I'm all for that, but
Maybe else.
you have
Yeah,
to
for sure.
change that when it comes to these kids in the community and thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna move because I'm scared of how I grew up. That's just right there. That's wrong. That's just wrong, and that's just stupid. So let me just stop right there. Because we go into a different topic right now, and getting out the hood because my kids are scared. Like what?
No. I can't see the time, brother. So
There's a lot going on.
I feel like I understand both sides.
Um,
Honestly, yeah, I'm on both sides when it comes to that for sure. I get the hood,
but you
and,
have
you
to
know,
have a reason behind
Yeah.
so much. You can't carry your adulthood into being a parent and teaching them different from what we learned. We're gonna change that.
yeah, for sure. It starts with us. It does. Starts with
Because
us.
It really starts with us.
I don't see it.
Bill said, I feel alone, bro, but that's because I'm older in that part.
Okay, all right.
And
So-
there's two questions I feel like it's good for you to answer. One is for you, one is for her.
Okay, what?
One is like, what made you choose mental health as your focus, and what moment pushed you to start sharing it publicly?
Me.
Yeah.
So this what I'm saying. Like I'm in. The reason why I personally wanted to share is because, like I said, I have friends that just recently committed suicide. But I speak with my friends that are deported. I speak with my friends that's out in the streets right now. Kids that are active, and I'm trying to help them get out of the gang cycle, right? I'm speaking with parents, and I saw that we were all suffering in silence. And me personally, a few weeks ago, I was going through my own depression. You know what I'm saying? Like feeling like, yo, listen, I don't have a kid in this fucking world. Like it should be like financially in a good relationship, been with the same person. Like I should not be feeling
Like you don't have no.
like I don't have no one. But what I'm saying, like when it came through, because I'm thinking, I'm like, damn man, like, no nigga, like I
Maybe
fucking
they
lost
just
a whole,
screaming for
I know,
help.
I lost a whole fucking neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I went to the cemetery the other day for my friend's birthday, and it's like, damn nigga, like we have literally like 100 fucking kids that I grew up with, and I'm like, okay, like some of their grave sites are still fucked up, like overgrown with weed, and you know what I'm saying? Now, like when I go into the neighborhood, like I'm looking at homes, like, damn, who the fuck live over here? And all these buildings, we can't afford to live here. And I'm like, okay, I'm not alone because, you know, I'm married and I'm like, I'm straight. But no, like my whole fucking people are suffering. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and for me to get a call from a friend of like, yo, listen, I'm thinking about killing myself. And like, yo, what the fuck?
Like we need to speak
Like,
up for everybody.
speak up for it. Like, yo, listen, no, this like I wanted to be an interactive conversation because it's like it's just not you going through this shit.
Right.
It's just not you. It's just not me. It's just not you. I'm like, we're going through this all
We all
together.
can relate.
And then if I'm in a sector of nonprofit work where I'm constantly pouring out and helping people constantly. Every time my fucking phone ring, help me with this. Help me with this.
But
Help
when
me
it's
with
your
this.
turn,
When it's
who's
my
there for
turn,
you?
no one.
Absolutely.
Like I can call, yo,
We can
listen,
relate.
can y'all meet me here
Right.
and help out? No, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say nobody, but a lot of people do show up. But it's like a lot of time people don't want to show up, right?
Right. Right.
But it's like
And
if we
it's
keep,
sad.
Yes, sir.
we kept taking this loss, and I'm like, I hate seeing my people suffer. And when I say my people, I'm not talking about just Cape Verdean people. I'm talking about Haitian people, African American
Somebody
people,
said,
Caribbean people.
takes a village.
Give a shout out to the GoFundMe real quick and talk about that
Oh.
real quick before we go to the next question.
So this was the shit that really put me over the fucking edge with me giving back and helping the hood and made me feel like I don't want to help no one, right? We have a kid who got killed, right? His mother died before him. She didn't have a tombstone. Then he got killed, and they had to bury him on top of his mom just because they couldn't afford his own plot, right? So then we went after this victims compensation fund that you can go after to get some amount of money to bury someone from homicide, but it was $2,500 that we can get, and I'm like, okay, we're short $4,000. So I'm like, damn, we're MBK. $4,000 shouldn't even be a problem. Yo, we put it out for like months. We got like nothing, and I'm like, yo, okay, so listen, like. We're trying to just give. We're just trying to give a tombstone for this mother and a child, and y'all can't give a shit. But anytime we're doing something for the hood and it's free, yo, we need Mike and Lone Wolf Security to fucking to keep the line in order.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, but we're trying to like help everyone in our community. And it's like, as many of those people that take, if you keep taking from us, you're draining the shit. But if you could just put in a little bit back in this cup, like this kid just needs $4,000 just so we can get him a tombstone for him and his mom's, just so when everyone is gone, a tombstone will be there to keep his legacy, you know, his remembrance. That's why. And now I got long-winded, but that's why, man.
And did y'all get the?
No, we're still like $150 right now.
Okay, well,
We're like at $150 right now.
Who y'all shouting out for that? Did anybody help out? Nobody.
A couple of dudes from around the way.
Shout them out. Shout them
Did
out.
you
I'm
guys
not gonna-
post this
One question
link.
for you.
Yeah.
From Buluzi
And we-
Bo, if I'm saying it right. He says, when you're assessing someone or evaluating a risky situation, what's the first thing your mind looks for?
Probably the first thing I would say is probably honestly interaction. If I feel like you're not engaging with me, you know, while we're kind of having treatments, and that's kind of like my personal thing. I don't know if every person at their clinic does this or not, you know what I mean? It's just personal to me. But when my patients come in, you know what I mean, I like to, I read the room. So it's like, you know, people come in, they feel, you know, again, depressed. I know that, you know what I mean? But like, it's all about how you're kind of engaging and, you know, just kind of interacting with me, you know what I mean? Body language and all that. Absolutely. You know, so it's like, I think I look for that more so because like, again, I know what it's like coming in. I know what that feels like to not want to interact and talk to somebody, you know what I mean? So like when that actual engagement starts to happen and they get the energy from it and want to rush in to tell me about their day, like, oh, Jordan, I couldn't wait to come see you because girl, I had something, you know what I mean? Like when I get that, that's, yeah.
Is it
that's
inpatient or outpatient?
It is inpatient and outpatient. It could be outpatient as well, but more so inpatient.
So if we have someone right now that's just going through a lot of shit, can they contact you and be like, or do they just walk into your facility right now?
Yeah, so it's not like set up where you could just kind of like walk in, you know what I mean? There is a process to it, unfortunately, you know what I mean? But again, just calling the number, you know what I mean, speaking to our intake team. I mean, we try to get you in as soon as we
Rapid.
can, right away, you know what I mean? Because obviously we understand what you're dealing with and what you're going through, and we try to, you know, kind of get that professional help for you.
Have you ever had someone that came in while they was needing help and they couldn't get help and they ended up leaving and taking their life that you know of?
Ooh, that's a good one. That I wouldn't know. I don't keep in contact. Yeah, I feel like that would be kind of discussed with me if they did kind of went that far. You know what I mean? I would have heard about it for sure, but I don't think I've ever experienced anyone coming in and then, you know, just kind of going through the process of my, you know, treatment prescription plan and stuff like that, coming in for TMS and stuff, and at the end of it, kind of, you know, taking their, you know, their life or unaliving
I have
themselves.
a question for you, Maria. What keeps people in our community from talking about mental health openly?
For men, and I'm only going to speak for the men's side. I think that we have a lot of pride and a lot of bravado, you know, because it's like you have a bunch of hood niggas that don't want to seem weak by saying like, you know, sitting down and pouring out their heart and crying and like, yo, I don't have no money to pay my bills, or like, yo, I just got into an argument with my girl, and you know, I'm hurt by that. Like, even if they say like, I got into an argument with my girl, I'm like, man, fuck that bitch. I don't even give a fuck. Nigga, stop lying. Because as soon as you leave here, you're gonna go and call her. You're gonna beg her to come back inside the house. So stop. Like, let's just stop. But bravado and pride, and it's like we have to end up just kind of like take a moment, and then also stop taking it like everything is a joke. Like our podcast, I'm not a comedian, and I'm not just someone that wants to just like go and talk about bullshit. I believe like we're trying to address stuff that really affects us. So if you want comedy, go to another station. But is that we take everything as a fucking joke? You know what I'm saying? Like everything's a joke.
Yeah.
And then I have another
which
one.
is a form of dealing with trauma.
With trauma and depression.
Another one I have. So, what coping strategies that work for you? Like when you're going through a depression stage, or when you feel you can't count on nobody, and you feel like your mental health is testing you. What do you use as a coping strategy? Like what helps you?
I don't have a thing. That's why I'm like,
what been keeping you going through this whole time? Like, do you go to a shooting range? Do you drive? Do you go for a walk? Like, do you go to sleep? Do you feel like you want to isolate yourself? So there's different ones that we want to say we don't have, but there's one that got us through where we at now. So different people deal with mental health different. I have my stressful week that if I know that I don't gotta go to work and I can have stuff to do around the house, I can be like, I will procrastinate it and I try to get some sleep to kind of get through the day. But then I have time that I could hang out with my girls. Yeah, right. Summertime, I go by the lake. I like the water. So, but you're still dwelling with it, but you want to get through the day. Yeah. So there's difference because you don't have nobody to call. That's what I used to do. Like I won't call on nobody, but I either sleep it off or weekends. I love going out for drinks, and I'm just like, okay, I'm getting through the weekend. It is what it is. Next week, but one thing that I always do, I manifest a better week. So sometimes I feel like that copes with it. Like I manifest and kind of read a lot of good positive vibration manifest, like anything that I can to kind of be like affirmation, like it'll be fine. You know what? Tomorrow will be better. So you got to kind of tell yourself that. Like in your point, what do? Do you just get angry all day? Do you?
I'll defer that to you first, and then I'll piggyback.
Okay. Well,
and what you and then what you do for yourself? What you do for yourself? But is there any recommendation you can do
for others?
So you're asking for like what
Like, what do you do?
I
Because
do
you're
personally?
dealing with like
Okay.
When you
every
go
day
into
you're dealing with like 10 people with 10 different things, and energy to
Personality,
me
energies,
is
yep.
contagious.
Yeah, for sure it is.
And if you're sitting there
absolutely.
with 10 people,
Yeah,
you might get
with
in your
different
car
things.
and be like,
Yeah, and I do.
oh, everybody
And I do.
started on me.
so
And
like,
I do all
what do
the
you
time.
do
I
to
did it
cope?
today.
so what you do for your mental well-being, and then what would you recommend for anyone else?
So personally, I think how I deal with it would be
Clean and healthy, isolation.
I mean, I kind of, I
Amazing.
I hate to say this, but I don't hate
Go
to
ahead.
say this because it's being like just open and candid, honestly. I used to deal with it in my 20s by like drinking excessively. You know what I mean? Like that became like a big part of my life. And while that's a thing to do in your teenage years and 20s, I think I was doing it a little bit more, than
Excessive.
normal. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's just like, when I kind of got in my 30s, I'm 38 now. So when I got in my 30s, it was just like, okay, I need to change. I have kids, I have a career, like I have things to kind of do and make sure I need to get out the bed for, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that kind of subsided. I mean, to this day is like, yeah, I drink, but I don't drink as much, like, you know what I mean? Even like probably 6 months back, I don't drink as much as I was 6 months ago, so that kind of subsided for me. And then it just turned into like, honestly, like I smoke, you know what I mean?
Well,
That's what it
that's-
is. I
that's-
just,
it is medical-
I smoke,
it's
it gets me
medical
through and it
marijuana.
helps,
It's
you know what I mean? No, it's recreational.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I smoke, you know what I mean? But that's how it just gets me through the day. And that's just personal to me. Not to say that everybody, oh yeah, I'm asking everybody to pick up a blunt. That's not what I'm saying either. But what works for me is what works for me. And that's just how I get through it. You know what I mean? If you want to just kind of go emotional, you know what I mean? The love I get from my kids, just like, them, I come through the door and they're like, I love you. You know what I mean? Like just hearing that, you know what I mean? So that gets me through and gets me motivated. Like, okay, I can do this another day or a week or so. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. And I'm doing it for them, so that's how I kind of, get through it, honestly.
Do you have
So-
at least one person in your life that when you feeling really weak, you can call and they pick up?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's the hard one.
That is a hard one because this is basically what we're speaking to as far as like, opening up to our community and, just bringing awareness to, us, us of color. But I
Why you gonna say no? It's right, they're gonna be judgmental. They're not gonna understand.
I
You got
feel
some
like-
now. You got some now.
Thank you. I appreciate
No.
that for sure. Yes, and vice versa.
Yeah,
Yes. It's a yes and no for me because, like, honestly, I feel like I go to different people with different problems. You know what I mean? I go to people that can relate to what I'm kind of going through. So if I'm going through something, like I said, with my kids, like I need to go to another mother with that. You know what I mean? If I'm going through something at work, I need to kind of go to a coworker. You know what I mean? And if I'm going through something where it's childhood trauma, you know what I mean? Childhood kind of, going back to my childhood, I would speak to my mother, so it's just different positions that I have, in place in my life with different people, you know what I mean? That I could go to somebody for something. Do I have one person for all that? I don't think so.
So
Yeah.
for me, the way
Yeah.
that I was coping, and like I said, I'm married,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I always have to think about like I'm a real I believe in energy a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Aura, energy,
Aura.
vibration.
And I've learned like I don't want to bring my negative energy or how I'm feeling to my wife,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So sometimes like the way I deal with my with feeling alone or feeling depression is that one Cape Verdeans, we drink like a fucking fish.
Oh, I'm half, I know.
Okay?
Yes.
So
in my
so
20s, I
there
get
was
it.
a saying. There was like I was in on the islands in like 96,
Okay.
right? They came out with a study while I was there where they said that the men on all 10 islands drink more in 1 year than all the cars take gas.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
But let's think about it like when I but it was like I was like
Excuse me.
but I was like
Are you okay?
but I was like, you know what, like okay, there is more people than cars on those islands. So I was like, okay, right?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
Mhm.
96, it was like,
Oh, 96.
you know,
Okay.
maybe there was like 5 cars in this.
Okay.
But it was like, okay, I was suppressing all of my
Yes. Let me read
feelings,
the comments, 'cause you're not
right?
reading them.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I'm answering the question, sister.
Okay.
But it was like I was suppressing all of it with alcohol,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I was looking at like, well, damn, like I think with me, I'm not a self-centered
Yes,
person.
Desiree.
So I like to think about like, damn, like everyone. So I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, and I'm reflecting, I'm like, damn, this is like a lot of my friends and peers, like we've been drinking since we're like 15 years old,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
like 15 straight until
Yeah.
now, like our 30s, 40s, some here 50s.
Mhm.
Like we've been drinking straight. So our
But
liver
we
first,
don't age.
no, we
I
don't.
know, right?
No. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was
At
like,
all.
damn, our
Thank you.
liver gotta look like shit.
Yeah.
First of all, it has to
No.
look
But it's
like,
a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
We
I
gotta
know,
stop
but
that.
this is like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we're going through a lot of trauma. We're not talking
And that's
about
not
it.
the best way to cope.
It's not. It's not. But this is like
It's easier than
when you
reach out to
have,
a family.
but when exact. So this is what I was gonna say. Like when you have a bunch of kids, a bunch of young adolescents, and their coping mechanism is because we don't have we didn't have the support system. We didn't have the mental health profession.
Resources.
We didn't have the resources.
Mhm.
We didn't have like our only government resources.
Community
No,
centers.
but those community centers kick us out as soon as you're a problem child,
You come
right?
smelling like weed,
You're
you
gone,
gotta go.
right? But
Mhm.
our main government resource to address our underlying mental health was police officers
And DCF.
and DCF,
Mhm.
right?
DYS.
So
What they used to call it, DYS.
Yeah.
DYS. So
Yeah.
that's been our main frontline government agencies that we dealt with,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's not helping us address like our issue. And a lot of us, like, I have nothing against the military, right? Nothing. But it's like you're telling me like I'm from the hood,
Mhm.
right? I grew up, we're from the hood. But as a male that has been in a violent atmosphere all my fucking life since I came to this country at 5 years old, right?
They're not frontline.
So
Mhm.
if I grew up with these kids in my neighborhood from like 5 years old till we're 16,
Right.
our parents live
26.
next to each other. I'm at his house eating, he's at my house eating. We're like brothers, literally from toddler till teen. This is my brother. Now something happens to him, and he passes away. Now my psyche is
Mhm.
like, yo,
Affected.
it's psyche.
Yeah.
It switches
Yep, yeah,
because it'd
for
be like,
sure.
yo, like
Mhm.
you took someone I loved
Right.
away from me,
Right.
and you're ready to ride for that person, right? Now,
Retaliation, they don't
but
believe
now
in
the
that.
police don't give a fuck about that,
Yeah.
right? But you're gonna tell me that when someone is in boot camp with you for 2 years in the military,
Mhm.
2 years,
Yeah.
and you're like, yo,
Yeah.
nigga, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna ride for you now. And for us in the hood, we're like, yo, 2 years, nigga, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Like 2 years,
We just get it.
Yeah.
we're just getting acquainted.
Right.
We just
Yeah.
getting
So
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
it's like
Yeah.
their PTSD can be validated, and they went through war, and it was
Right.
like, okay, even when you're overseas at war, you're there for a year, my nigga. With us, we're in this shit from
Every
fucking
day.
from 6
Yeah.
years old
Right.
until we're 25 if we're lucky to make it,
Yeah.
and we keep seeing death and death and death and death.
Survival mode.
But they're like, no, y'all PTSD, y'all just brutal, y'all
Mhm.
just niggas, y'all just violent,
Mhm.
you know.
They're
But
like-
not understanding our psyche of like,
They're
no, like,
Charlie Kirk's
Right.
fan.
We went
Yes.
through too, yeah.
you know, but
I
they're
think
not
Blaming
processing,
parents,
like,
blaming
blaming everyone.
your dad wasn't there, you know, but
Yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
raised with no dad. They ain't got nothing. We got some
Right.
strong ass black women that whoop our
Absolutely.
ass and showed us.
Sure
And-
did.
I know. We just
Showed
have a
us the
lot of
way.
trauma.
We have a lot of trauma, and
Yeah,
like I said, this
yeah.
is nothing against the military, but I'm saying if you can understand their trauma of having to deal with each other for 2 years, then you should understand our trauma of being with each other for 15 years.
Talk that talk,
Right.
brother.
You know,
Talk that
20
talk.
years. You should
Yeah.
understand our trauma, understand like, and to
We go
be
through
in
it
an
too.
environment where like no resources are given to us.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
Phil, you talking
For
some
sure.
real shit on the
Let me,
comment, Phil.
Let me shout
We
out.
see you, Phil.
Let me shout out James
We
Hill
see
real
you,
quick.
Phil.
Man.
We got
Man,
Java
Jimmy.
with Jimmy.
Java
And
with Jimmy
I
in the
think-
building.
Pasar que se cruza.
Yo, he had one question. He said, as women,
Huh?
do you feel men addressing their mental health is masculine and sexy?
I
Mm.
personally would love a man
Yeah.
to just be yourself, baby. I want to rub your back. I want you to cry to me.
I rub your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Java, I want you. Listen,
I'm crying.
we here, baby.
But go ahead, finish that thought.
Yes, I feel like a man, you have to understand you're human. I hate when a man feels like you have to show yourself, you have to be stronger. But a grown ass woman, I would love for you to be yourself.
Yep.
Cry to me, trust me. And if you're gonna do that, you already know we locked in and you have a safe space. Stop trying to be so tough. It's okay, you're human. Like, and I hate when they have to portray themselves like you got feelings. You have feelings. Like, what are you doing? I love it. To me, it's a turn on.
Yeah, for
Clock
sure.
it.
Same, definitely.
It's a
Open up
turn
more.
on.
We need you to open up more, actually. You know what I mean?
Open up.
So we
Speak
could communicate
up.
and talk to each other as Black people, Black woman to Black
Yes.
man. That's how we, that's how we come
That's
together.
it.
That's where it
That's
starts.
Clock it, girl.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Clock it. So, Java, we need to come on one of them episodes and just
Definitely
be
masculine.
So-
ourselves.
Mills in the chat.
Milton.
Milton, we see you. We finally seeing everybody. We've been on it for almost 2 hours.
I know.
Have we?
So-
Oh, wow. Ooh, it did go by.
If-
Oh, my gosh.
We're
Holy crap.
about to wrap
I'm gonna
it
wrap
in.
it up, right? I'm gonna wrap it up with if you're going through certain issues, right, where you feel like you're borderline just about to fall off the edge, I would highly suggest that
Yes,
you either
Marcy.
call someone that you trust and talk about it, or get in touch with Jordan. We're gonna give you a
Yes.
personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
No, but it's like
No, we're not doing
No.
no.
no,
Oh,
but
no.
it's like
We
serious.
got Sally on
It's
the
serious.
way.
Yeah.
There's
DM us.
there's a nonprofit. It's called Dee Dee's Cry, like Dee Dee's Cry, and it's a suicide prevention organization, and is ran by a good friend of mine, Toy Burton, and it's named
yeah,
after
she's
her
a great-
sister that committed suicide. Especially going into the holidays, and it's like, okay, we've been talking, and I'm hoping that we address
I know.
a lot of issues.
It's our
right?
first live, so
Yeah.
please, we need pros and cons.
Pros
We
and
need-
cons.
We need all the comments. We can learn from it and grow from it. So,
But I think like as men first, like as men, and I'm talking about the little niggas in the hood.
what you think about opening up to a woman? How do you feel? Do you open up to?
So my first relationship, like serious relationship, I fucked her over. You know what I'm saying? Because I was dealing with so much trauma of like every time I got shot,
Phil, you're right.
she was there. Every time I was getting arrested, she was there. Funerals, constantly visiting
You
people.
felt like when you
No,
when you cried, all that.
I didn't cry in front of her. I didn't like when I came home. I'm still a child. Like for me, like I'm like we were together from
We're
like
talking about
from like
now.
I know. So I'm saying like from 16 up until my 25, I was just shut down.
No.
And the reason like why I said like we brought a lot of trauma on y'all because it was like we were suppressing so much shit that we treated y'all less than. But I'm like, damn, like y'all hold us, y'all uplift us, y'all going through the battle shit with us, right? And then now like as when I became a man, a grown man, I'm like, yo, I caused a lot of harm to the woman that was there for me. And now into my relationship with my wife, and my wife deals with me on a different fucking level that's just like, damn, nigga. Because she's like,
she knows you.
she knows me, and she knows trauma, and
That's
she
a
knows things,
Right.
and she got me to a point where it's all right for me to talk to her and tell her anything.
Shout out
You know
to
what I'm saying?
Sis. Shout out to Sis.
So it's like, it's for me, if I can have something to say to any of the men, is like, yo, listen, I learned there's niggas in the hood that love you, and then there's your women that love you. And for me, I came to find out that the word love is very powerful. The niggas in the hood that say they love you is gonna abandon you quick.
They love you for the moment.
They love you for what you can do for them
the
while
moment.
you're free and alive, right? But when a woman says she loves you, like it's deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be there with you in the hospital while you're doing that.
While you get old and shit on
yo,
yourself and
all of it, she's gonna be there.
she ain't gonna let
And
you
it's like
go.
that's where
love,
us as men of color, we're being so fucking trying to be so tough that we're like, the love that the woman gives me don't mean shit, but the love that the niggas in the hood gives me means more, because like, oh, you love me because I'm putting in work for the hood. I'm putting, you know, like,
or how they portray women too, because what they've been through. Because it's like same thing if we portray one man, because you know, look at their dogs and they feel like they're grown man. We're not talking about those 21s that's growing up.
Right.
Like if you don't find nobody, you shouldn't be out here making. Because that's also girls go through mental health from breakups, from heartaches, from toxic.
that's why y'all here. So
Well, that's another episode.
No,
That's another
it's
episode.
well, it wasn't,
Wrapping
but
it
now
up.
like we're wrapping it up. But it's like, honestly, like, if there's a lot anyone that's on the live that's with me that knows me, you know that I'm always a phone call away, right? I won't have the answers, but I'll have the time. I'm gonna come up, we're gonna talk about it. And but there is
the guy can change their own diapers, right, Marcy?
but there is like there is help out here, especially going into this holiday season, where you're feeling like, you know, especially moms that's lost their children. That's a whole different thing. And going into this season, like for you to even call them or check up on them, and then finding the resources
for sure
that you need. And it's like, MBK, no, we're not mental health, but we never shut the door on you.
I like that.
So I'm gonna
tell Phil you love him, because
Phil's my dog. Like,
Phil.
listen.
Phil, you gotta come to one of the podcasts. You gotta come sit here, Phil. We need you.
No, I'm gonna.
Phil, where you at? You available tomorrow?
Look,
Phil said, "Are you dissing me? I've been here 36 years, loving you, no pause."
no, I'm
Phil,
gonna
you the truth.
look.
Everybody know Phil's the truth.
I'm gonna say, like, I've known Phil before Phil even knew me, because I would see Phil in Roxbury. Like, there was only like one Cape Verdean gang in Boston at the time, and I was the little fucking 12 years old kid that would be with all these older niggas, and I would consistently, like, I would see Phil just walking around, and every time I saw Phil, he would be walking around on Clifton Street.
Join the live.
And eating a fucking banana. Every time I saw Phil, and he would just be walking around. And then our bond has been.
He said the judge about you weapon. Phil, you talking too much now.
No, I don't know nothing about what the brother's saying with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're talking about mental health, getting treatment. We're talking about mental health and treatment.
He said, "I just see you cry."
He said, "I just see you cry." See, Phil, you part of the movement. I like that.
But
mental health. Give him a shoulder to cry on. I love that.
But no, what ended up, I don't know. What do you wanna?
Right.
How do you wanna?
How
do you wanna leave it?
I just want to end with just saying, open up more, talk about it more, whatever's on your mind, open up. I understand people might, feel like, not opening up to our community, is is not,
Look down upon.
yeah, looked down
Don't be
upon, not a
shameful.
thing, but yeah, just don't be shameful. Just, you know what I mean? Kind of take that chance. And the person that's listening on the other side, just kind of take that chance and listen to, listen. And, I think a big thing too is being non-biased. You know what I mean? Like when we do open up to each other, I think that's the thing of, just feeling scared to open up because we feel like the person's going to be biased and judge us. So just kind of, on both ends, just be non-biased and, talk. We need to communicate more for sure.
Yes.
And don't be scared. Don't be embarrassed.
Yes. Like I said in the beginning, I will finish it up with like this. The way you physically take care of yourself, mentally take care of yourself. If you have one person to count on, don't hesitate, reach out. I believe in giving your best friend or your brother, your sister, somebody an extra key to your home. Have little skills that you can do. If you talk to somebody every day, even a text, it goes a long way. Because right now, everybody's so busy. It's 2025, going into 2026. Last month, make it count. Have somebody that you can call every day or text every day, just in case. You never know what nobody's going through. It's very important. Just reach out. Reach out. We always on our phone. So if you really care about somebody, reach out and just let them know you're there. And book with Sally Softflocks, y'all.
Yep. And if I can just leave it at this, is like, listen, there's a lot of us that's in the nonprofit world that's giving the hood everything we have because we believe in helping.
Yeah.
But just take the fucking time to give it back a little bit too.
Reach out.
Don't just keep being a fucking leech.
Every
And I'm
dollar
not,
counts.
like, don't just keep taking, because when you keep taking, and you don't put nothing back in, and that person or that agency decides to shut down, you're not going to have that support mechanism.
And we're going to put the link for mbk617.org. We are accepting donation. If you guys like what we did tonight, please just press on the link. $1. If everybody that tuned in donate $1, you're making a difference.
How about the Christmas drive, man? Christmas drive coming up.
You see, we did a whole little Christmas setup. We out here.
Yeah, there's
Drive is coming up. You're gonna catch us in the hood near you. I might be the Grinch. No.
Yeah, we're having a Christmas toy drive where we drive throughout the hood passing out toys. We got that going on.
For
our
6th annual.
6 years we've been doing it, and if you can help us by donating toys so we can pass it on to the kids that don't have any toys, if you can help us by donating your time,
highly appreciated. Volunteer. Phil's gonna be on the bus. Phil's there.
But
Marcy's there.
Want to say love you all.
Team.
I'm gonna continue this.
Shout out to the chat.
Shout out to all y'all that participated in the chat room. We just love you all. Catch you.
Happy holidays.
And Family Tree TV. Family Tree
I'm
TV.
watching down here. I'm watching up there.
Thank
you,
you,
Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Peace out.